Wise.
So saith the wise among them.
Welcome back to Mages and Murderdads, the only show dedicated to Baldur's Gate 3. I'm Cameron, and with me as always is Danny.
I'm Danny. I feel like this is a real, this subtle change that you've made in the introductions. We never talked about this, where you stopped introducing yourself as I'm Cameron and I play Ticklevar. I feel like it's emblematic of a divide a gulf between you and that character. Do you blame the game for that?
I blame the game. Mm-hmm. I blame Sven specifically.
Sven, doing a Statue of Liberty play, but instead of the football, it's the plot of the game. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. On you specifically.
Yeah. He's got me. He's got me in the chokehold of life. Mm-hmm. No, I changed it because I forgot what we do for this show.
Gotcha. You're so many different spoons in so many different pots.
I don't have any spoons in any pots. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't put a spoon in a pot. What do you think? I'm living the alchemical life? What do you think? I got spoons in pots?
Yeah. With your flasks too?
No, I got paws and honey pots.
Too many paws and too many honey pots.
Licking my fingers.
You'd be some kind of...
What's that four-armed bear called? You know what I'm talking about?
Four-armed bear. Yeah. That is a D&D monster.
It is. It's got to be here somewhere. It's not a brown bear.
It might even be 6.
Yeah, maybe I should just look up multiple armed bear. D&D. Let's see. I found a Reddit thread that says, guys, I just want to be 2 bears. That's interesting.
Multi-armed monsters. You know what? I feel like I most acutely see the decline in search engine capacity on this show in particular.
Because they're like, do you mean brown bear?
Yeah. No. Number 1.
No. In what world would I mean brown bear? No. I think, here's what it is. I think that probably 20 years ago, we read an article about Thri-Kreen werebears.
It's a real thing, though.
And we put that in our head that that's like something supported when probably we saw some fan fiction on a forum. And we're living in the hallucination.
I truly do.
You can see it, right? You can see the multiple armed bear in your mind's eye.
Have we Mandela affected an absurdly...
A multiple armed bear?
Yeah, like a bear spider or bear insect creature.
Of all the things the Mandela effect, that's pretty good.
It's true.
Somebody draw it for us. Draw us the multi-armed bear. Give us a stat block. I want to roll one up.
All right, well, you're keeping me to a tight hour, and we have to.
He's going to get multi-attack, I bet.
We have to do the whole plot of this.
All right,
game
hit us with it. Tell us what the plot is.
In the next hour.
Do it.
The plot of the game is a long time ago. Baldur, the founder of Baldur's Gate, was kidnapped by illithids. And he was tadpoled, and he was turned into an illithid, and there were several situations where he freed himself, and then he got caught, and he started to devise a way to liberate himself and get revenge on his captors, because eventually the elder brain that was enthralled him in its mind flayer colony was brought under the heel of the new kind of pseudo avatars of the Dead Three. We got Gortash Envar. We got Orin, the shapeshifter, child of Bhaal. We've got also the guy from Whiplash. And they're having doing bad stuff. And it turns out also that they captured this elder brain with a special magical crown called the Crown of Karsus, and the way they got it was Balthazar, before Balthazar lost his memory, went on a heist and got it from hell with the help of Enver Gortash, but then Balthazar got his memory wiped and became a regular protagonist, kind of. But anyway, the Emperor used a bunch of plot and schemes to wrangle a ragtag group of adventurers and puppet master them to kind of slowly work their way from 20 miles outside Baldur's Gate to Baldur's Gate proper. And on the way, they killed the guy from Whiplash. And now here we are in Baldur's Gate. We're fighting, we're fully maxed out leveled, and we are ready to do what Baldurin's telling us to do.
Do you think that Balthazar went to hell and did the heist canonically in all playthroughs?
Yes.
Like, you think that happened in Ticklevar's world?
Yes. Well,
like, there's no reason for it not to be true, you know?
So, yes, it did happen in Ticklevar's world, but it wasn't Balthazar that did it. Because we're going to see the corpse of the alternate Ticklevar reality, Dark Urge, in this episode. We are.
Huh.
I mean, I don't know if your camera swept across it, because notoriously you completely omitted like the little Hobgoblin and Illithid merchant pair in the Underdark by just not swooping your camera a particular direction. But I bet it's on. I bet you got footage of the dead Dark Urge.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Very weird.
All right. Well,
no criticisms on that plot summary, so I'm happy with that.
No. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's acceptable.
So remember when we came into Baldur's Gate and we got Gortash telling us, hey, I need you to kill Orin, and Orin saying, hey, I need you to kill Gortash, and if you wrong one, something bad happens. I guess Orin, if you do something, if you like move against her before taking care of Gortash, she promises to kill somebody. And for you, that's that elf druid,
Halsin. Yep.
Halsin.
Yep.
And for me, it's a kid I specifically said I didn't care about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, we got informed, by the way, about that.
We did.
That the kid is real.
Yes.
That's all.
So I guess you want to do Orin first here?
Yes, because I did go after Orin first. So yeah.
Okay, that works for me. So this is a little bit more. There's more to this part, I would say, because there's a thing we haven't talked about at all in the background of Baldur's Gate, which there's a serial killer on the loose that you could like. You know, you're funneled into that quest pretty early, but it sounds like neither of us really like interacted with it. Is that accurate? Or did you
with the quest itself?
Yeah. Did you get to the bottom of the serial killer situation?
Yeah. So there's someone gets murdered in a temple. What's the temple of?
Well, I think one of the first murders is in the Elf Song Tavern, right? There's like because
well, that's a good question. I can't remember the details here. So what is the temple where there's a murder?
Oh, is that
in Rivington?
There is a temple. Yeah, it's like the monk temple, right?
I don't know.
It is.
I can't remember who.
I think
so.
I think
we don't talk about that side quest because it's not particularly interesting. But so there's a murder there, and you can meet the detective through there.
Okay.
The detective is what is this little creature's name?
Balumbo.
It's not Balumbo.
Okay.
Oh God, what is it? It's the little flying elephant guy.
Oh, sure. He makes a brief appearance in this playthrough.
Audrey, something. Valeria. There we go.
Gotcha.
So it's Valeria, and Valeria is a Hollyphant. Who is doing this investigation at the Open Hand Temple. It's a little side quest we didn't talk about. You can go do it on your own. Why is there a Hollyphant? A Hollyphant is like a little tiny elephant that flies with ear wings.
They're also like
speaks
angelic beings. They're like lawful good archons, practically.
No, they're not that. No. They're from the upper planes. They're planar beings for sure, but I think they're more like a Roomba kind of the Archons. You know what I mean? They're servants.
Okay,
is what I'm saying. They're not angels.
Sure. Okay, but this is still way beneath them, right?
One would assume it would be way beneath them. And this one is like, the joke here is that Valyria is a detective, but like Valyria is fucking McNulty from The Wire. Like, is just interested in closing cases, however that happens, and drinking at the bar.
Okay.
And so once you do that first quest, and I'm sure there's a lot of pathways into this, but once you do that quest, you can be introduced to Valyria's assistant, and whose name I don't remember. Do you know her name?
No. Did not interact with the quest line at all.
Gotcha. Valyria assistant BG3. Hold on, let me find the name here, because I didn't look it up. I don't understand why that person is not here. Solve the open hand murders. It's not Lorgan. Report your findings to Valyria. You report to Valyria if you solve this previous quest. And then Valyria says you can go talk to Gauntlet de Vela, who was the detective's number 2. Kind of a Watson-esque. Gauntlet de Vela is the person who is investigating the murder at the Elfsong Tavern.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they can hook you in, and you find out basically there's murders afoot in Baldur's Gate.
Yes.
And there's a lot of ways into it. Yeah, what did you do in the thing? Anyway, point being, sorry, one step back.
Yeah.
This could have been anything. I think making this a Holophant is bad. I'm on the record about how planar do I think that this game should be. I think demons, devils, goblins, ghosts, and ghouls should be used in very specific places. I don't like the idea of there's just an angelic planar being floating around being McNulty in the world. It makes the cool planar part of D&D, to me, very banal and boring.
Now, do you think that if the stakes of the murders were not merely, it's a serial killer, but instead this is somebody trying out for the varsity league?
No.
Temple of Bhaal.
No.
Buddies and dead god getting. You don't think the stakes are adequately high enough to introduce?
It's not a question of stakes. Valyria is not the high stakes detective. Valyria is just a murder cop, straight up. It's is just McNulty. Again, from The Wire. You know what I mean? If Valyria were sent from Silvery Moon because they know that the serial killer is teleporting and using planar gates.
So your issue your issue is actually almost that the Holophant has been separated from its planar origin, is now just it's a Holophant who works for the Flaming Fist.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't catch that. I assumed the Holophant was sent from a higher authority.
No, it's just a detective. Who does not really want to be involved in this thing, which is why they're shunting you off down the path of the quest.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Duke Stelmane was killed at the Elfsong Tavern.
Yeah. Baldurin's old pal.
Baldurin's old pal was Duke Stelmane?
Yeah, because the Emperor talks about how he and Duke Stelmane were super close when he was running the Knights of the Shield.
You just told me. I've excised since our last recording. I've Eternal Sunshine myself.
I'm sorry.
Did not remember that he was Baldur.
I'm calling the Emperor Baldurin for the rest of the game.
Please don't do that to me.
It's in the game.
You could just not know it though. Have you tried forgetting?
Have I tried forgetting?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so they were friends, Duke Stelmane and the Emperor. They had, and between the two of them, they had done their Knights of the Shield of the Fist of the Sword, holding and swords. Yeah. Duke Stelmane murdered, and that you talk to this Flaming Fist person about that, and then you got to look around for more murders, basically.
So
you get a little thing. It's ding, find murder.
all this to say, you can do that. I'm not going to get into the murders. I didn't interact with the murders, but...
You didn't interact with any of the murders?
No.
There's like 1,000 murder... There's like 5 different just doors you can break down. Baldur's Gate 2 style, right? It's like houses you can go into, and lo and behold, in there has been a murder, and you can like use those in order to figure out how to get to the place where the murders are happening, because there's all these different murderers, and they have all been given a different target list.
Yes.
And so you can then go find the target. Some sort of master of murder is telling every has-been wannabe murderer in Baldur's Gate that if you go kill all these people, I'll let you into my little secret club. So you can you kind of do some investigation. I think it's a fun little quest.
That's interesting. I short-circuited it all. I don't know how I think I just found maybe one of these notes and just found my way to a gravestone engraver, which is the front for like the
Candle Hollow's tombstones. Candle Hollow's tombstones. I'll say it again.
Yes, that's correct. It's the.
Well, that's interesting. You missed some like fun stuff.
I did.
You've never done this before at all?
No.
Oh, let me tell you this before we.
Yeah. Okay.
Before we get there. You can find the thing, and so you can find, if you find all the murders that have happened, you can like check on the list to be like, who has not been murdered? And then that leads you to a couple places. That leads you to, number one, like a wine party where everyone's outside having a grand old time, and there's a guy in all red armor, like a dwarf maybe in all red armor, who looks like an absolute madman. And he's trying to poison people, and you can like stop it, and then he runs away, and then you look at the list, boop, 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 and you determine who's the other person. It's a barber.
Oh, so this is how I saw it. I did like just happen to go into the barber shop.
Yeah, there's some sort of, I don't know what the flag is on that, but there is a way to, I think the first time I played it, I had the exact experience you're talking about. Where you just kind of short circuit it and go to right before the end of the quest.
Yeah.
Or this part, the above.
I think time might be advancing it too. So like if you just wait long enough, he will get to the barber.
So there's all of these, I don't know, I can't speak to that, but there is some sort of flag. You can collect a bunch of hands.
Sure.
And if you kill this guy, he's got a bag of hands. So easy to do it. Those are going to be important because, yeah, you get a note that's like, go use the secret zone in Candle Hollow's tombstones. And like, if you talk to people outside of Candle Hollow's tombstones, they're like, I hear screaming in there all the time.
Sure.
It sounds like people are being murdered.
Well, given the sheer number of doors we're breaking down and murders we're seeing, that's just half of all addresses in Baldur's Gate.
It's predictable, yeah. Okay, so you go in there, you do that. What do you do after that? Now we've caught up to your part of the story.
Yeah, pop in. There's that which guards some FromSoft ass enemy guarding a door, and lo and behold, I'm able to get past without a fight because I just show him Gale's hand that is still in my inventory.
Oh.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I said, I killed to be here, and I took the victim's hand as proof.
Interesting. The ultimate loophole.
And they're like,
you're telling me statistically you should always kill Gale. Like it's optimal play to kill Gale at the beginning of the game.
It would be if this were a speed run and it were not for the unique endings and accelerated endings Gale provided for, then yes. But that's the trade-off, right? If you're not going for the speed run of the Gale ending, then yeah, you should definitely kill him.
Okay.
So you come in here and real blast from the past moment here at the Murder Tribunal. And I am very interested to hear what this looks like from your perspective because you've got Jaheira in your party, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do
so
not
I had to
have...
think. I had to do some... I was like, who's in my party?
The tumblers
Jaheira.
Falling. Is Minsk in your party?
I can't remember. No, I mean, not normally, but I might have brought him with me just for this.
Just for this. And
I can't remember.
And could you share with the viewer listeners why you would think about switching Minsk in?
Who's in there, you think?
Yeah, who do you reckon?
Who do they think? Write down the... Pause it right now. Write down the comments who you think is in there. Do you know where you're going? Does it like say it on the door before you click it?
No.
Because it's the tribunal.
It does say the tribunal. Mm-hmm. Oh, it says the biggest hint would be the Dread Lord's trial.
Yeah. All right. Because we know we're going for a trial. We know that because that's what a lot of the little messages say. Anyway, you bop open that door, you walk on in there. There's a big old Skullington head.
Sure.
On the wall. Big throne. Who's on that throne? It's our bad boy Saravok.
Saravok, back again.
Just kidding. It's Saman Havarian.
He's got to be in every Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
He's the NPC through line.
I like it.
Me too.
Now, does it totally fuck up like Saravok's, I believe, up until this point, canonical storyline? Yeah, it does.
Because he gets his storyline in Baldur's Gate 2 allows for some redemption, right?
In Throne of Bhaal.
Throne of Bhaal, specifically.
Right. He can be recruited when you go to hell down there, and then you can have. You don't have to have. In fact, I think it can go two different ways, but you have the opportunity to redeem Saravok, and I do believe that is the canonical ending. Like up until this point, I believe that Saravok Redeemed was the official ending of that game. But it doesn't really matter. This is real fan favorite hours in here because it's not just Saravok who's there, and I believe is it the same voice actor? It sounds really close.
It sounded really close.
Did you know I'm Saravok? Brother.
Please, don't push me off of Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
He's still there. There are other echoes. There are bloody echoes.
Well, he's a guy, importantly. He's just a guy.
Yes.
He's like a human, you know what I mean? He's like a flesh and blood dude in front of you.
He might have the undead tag. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe
I don't think
not.
so.
Yeah.
I don't think he is. I think he's just a guy. But he's not he's not a hologram, is what I'm saying. But they are. No. Humanoid? Human. Saravok.
Oh, wow, yeah. There he is. Well, yeah, and there are 3 echoes of other Bhaal spawns, which I believe were other Throne of Bhaal characters. Ilisera, Sindai, and Amalison. Yep.
I don't know. So, Sindai beat Baldur's Gate. I believe Sindai... No, yeah, one of the 5. Are they all one of the 5? I'm gonna listen. DG. Yep. I guess they're all Throne of Bhaal. Notably, they didn't bring Balthazar. Although I guess Balthazar is back by virtue of being inside that other Balthazar.
Yeah, kind of incorporated, right? Got a little bit.
So which one did we not bring back then? Hold on. Who are the 5? Who are the 5?
These names did not stick in my memory at all.
Oh, really? I knew immediately. I was like, these are former Bhaal spawn. I just couldn't remember if they were Bhaal spawn explicitly from Throne of Bhaal or not. So let's see here. We got Abazagal, Balthazar, Ilisera, Sindai, and Yagashura. So that means one of these is not a Bhaal spawn from there. Sindai, Ilisera. Who we got? We got Sindai.
Amalison.
Yeah, so Amalison is not one? Let me see. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Really and truly,
it doesn't.
Melissan then convinced Abdel to defeat Yagashura. Yeah, you know what? The plot of Throne of Bhaal is just not in there at all.
No, and I don't have positive feelings about Throne of Bhaal.
I don't either.
I'm okay with it getting hand waved away here.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm misreading the thing. The 5, Abazagal, Balthazar, Ilisera, Sindai, Yagashura.
Okay. Cool.
And then the leader is Amalison.
Gotcha.
So there you go.
Well, we got Saravok here. We got the 3 echoes, and I guess the idea behind this.
No, we got to go back in. Sorry, because she's one of a good guy who was bad the whole time.
Oh, was she?
Do you remember that even happening?
She was the main quest giver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Now we're all on the same page.
We're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Classic.
You remember Yagashura? He was the cool guy. He was the giant.
Oh, yeah.
Mitch killed all those other giants. Yeah, so they're all here hanging out.
Yeah, and I guess we have to prove our murderous worth.
I don't.
How'd that go for you? What'd you hear?
The hero's like, hey, buddy, I made you eat shit 100 years ago, and you can eat shit today. And Sarah said, no. And then we had a big fight. And Sarah died. It's like the second time I've killed Sarah.
How tough was that fight?
Not tough at all.
Really?
0% tough. Yeah, it's not a hard fight.
Huh?
Even remotely. I mean, it's a long fight, but no, it is not a hard fight. I don't think.
Gotcha.
Do you have a hard time? At this point, anything that can't eat 3 fireballs in a row is not that hard.
Sure. Well, I don't fight Sarevok. We have a long conversation where he kind of talks about like what the deal is. Mm-hmm. I get a lot of information about like who Orin is. Orin is his granddaughter and daughter.
Yep. Because he had a daughter with his own daughter.
He had a daughter with his daughter.
He's bad.
Yeah, that's how you know. He kind of talks about who I was before I lost my memory, and I was, Bhaal's favorite. And he talks about how Orin was always ambitious, and I'm probably blood related to Sarevok in some way. I mean, I guess certainly if we're both Bhaal spawn, like 100% Bhaal spawn, we're like, I don't know, half brothers, I suppose. But in any case, we have a long conversation, and at the end, they're like, well, you're definitely, you got the bona fides here, but you got to go in this other room and kill this Hollyphant. And so I do that.
Wow. You got to go over there and kill it to prove that to prove you hate.
You got to kill like a definitionally lawful good being to prove your alignment, right? Now you can't fake that. Not even McNulty.
I think I could fake it.
You think you could fake it?
Yeah, I think I could.
Because you're chaotic neutral.
So I beat up Sarevok and his cohort of ghosty ghoulies, and I went and freed the creature.
Gotcha.
You killed the creature.
I killed the creature, and a special thing happens because I become an unholy assassin, and I wade into its blood, and I I emerged, and I'm baptized in the blood of this lawful good creature, and now, boy howdy, I'm ready. And Sarevok's like, you got to go to, Orin's temple, and you gotta bring your primal slaughter back to Bhaal. What I found out is that the big difference between the Dark Urge and Orin is the Dark Urge is all about the quantitatives. The Dark Urge is about the spreadsheet. That's spreadsheet vibes. It's about the number of murders, right? Whereas Orin is all about qualitative. It's like, oh, well, what are the qualities of the murders? That was the big kind of like Martin Luther going up to the door and nailing something down. That was the big divergence of ideology.
Now, well, what are you? So now you're an assassin. And Sarevok's like, you're good to go? What happens after that? Because after this, I get the breadcrumb of like, you need to go deal with Orin.
Yeah, he's like, you got to go deal with Orin, because even though you're an unholy assassin, like, you got to go retake the throne, basically.
But would not killing him be the ultimate?
No, because he's not the ultimate. Orin is. He's just a minor bureaucrat in this whole organization.
I mean, he's not a minor bureaucrat. He's like charged with creating the boss.
Unholy assassins.
Yeah. Well, no, not even unholy assassins. I think he's charged with creating the person to like bring Bhaal back.
Sure. But in a world without the Dark Urge, what is his, like, this is kind of an issue we're struggling with. What on earth, what function is he performing in your game versus mine, right? Like in mine, it's very much like the Dark Urge shows up, Balthazar shows up, and he's like, oh yeah, you were the guy.
Yeah.
And my daughter/granddaughter,
you're the
tried
chosen
to take
one.
you down. And here you are back. Let's get you sanctified and move on your mosey way. Go kill my daughter/granddaughter.
Proving that she's not the one.
Correct.
Got it.
So he's
Got it.
the ultimate gatekeeper, right?
Interesting.
But what is he doing in your game, right? Like, and in your game, it does seem like he's more of a minor bureaucrat because, like, that murderous dwarf. If you don't kill the murderous dwarf, he shows up at the door and he's like, "Hey, I got some hands." Like, he's just trying to get his unholy assassin status. He wants to get upgraded.
Yeah. No, I got
Triple
it. Yeah, he's
platinum.
trying. Yeah, exactly. He wants to be able to get in the front seat.
Yeah.
At the murder transit station.
Yeah. I don't know. Kind of odd. But anyway, we're both going to Orin here.
I think Baldur's Gate's just a bad place to live. And like, there's a guy down there churning out murderers.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know if that's a minor functionary, because it's kind of, interestingly enough, I think this is actually an interesting question. Not in the deflationary way that you're putting it, but here's the flip side.
Okay.
Saravok's goal since the last game, 100 years, has been to create the ultimate murderer for
Yes.
Bhaal. And there's like some minor stuff. He's been making these little murder agents, all that kind of stuff. In my game, he's just already accomplished it. He's on the victory lap. It's Orin, who's taking over the city right now.
It's true. He,
Because until we kill Orin, she's winning.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha. So
I think that's an interesting way to think about it. Yeah.
Very different play experiences
Very
where
different, yeah.
he is in this gatekeeper role, and sure, he's going to like in a world where the dwarf assassin, who's the hand collector, is successful, he'll sanctify that guy. But like it's a sinecure at this point. He's won. He made Orin's top dog. He gets to look on and kind of just wait for all the gears to meet up and for this machine to start rolling. And in mine, he has a begrudging respect for the Dark Urge character because he knows like how much of a badass I was, and then he sees his hand-bred successor try and fail to depose me, and here I am back, and he's like, "Hey, game recognized game."
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
no, it's interesting.
I like the idea of like coming up on a guy who like makes murder and he's like, yeah, I've already done that. You know what I mean? Like I already built the alien.
Yeah,
And you're like, I'm going to stop you from releasing the alien.
and he's like, "Yeah, it's
I already did that. It's hugging faces all over the galaxy right
it's
now.
in the sewer."
Yeah. Killing your dudes right now.
Yeah,
That's fun. I like that. And I wouldn't have thought about that really unless we had these two different things. That's neat.
so fast forward, maybe you do that earlier in the game, but for us, we're heading to Orin. It's, secret entrance in the sewer. We'll go down there, and Bip and Bop.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about like the process of getting to Orin for you? Oddly, like I still have to fight stuff on this way. I thought that my whole deal, because I killed Gortash first. So I assumed, they'll let me through because Orin claims to want an honorable 1v1. And I do get like nobody's aggroed in the final like arena area, but I still have to fight like jerks who are going invisible, which sucks because I didn't get Volo's special eye installed in my kit.
Yeah, I wouldn't know about that. I see all of them. I see all of this stuff.
You see all of them. Do you want to, anything you want to address before we confront Orin?
Nah, there's a couple side quests down in the old sewers, but I think I'd cleared most of everything of things to fight when I was doing the Stone Lord stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you just go down there and, there's some Bhaal cultists hanging out and, they're like fighting refugees. That's how you know you're in the grimdark Baldur's Gate-averse. Where you got Bhaal cultists throwing fireballs at refugees.
Yeah, truly.
Anyway, so yeah, there's a bunch of sewer stuff. It's a sewer level. My feelings and thoughts are known on this.
Yes. I walk in to confront Orin, and this goes the exact opposite of the way it went when I played before Dark Urge. I turn into the Slayer, and I kill her. I kill her very, very hard as the Slayer. Because I imagine this is a gift that Bhaal is only bestowing on Bhaal's chosen. And so I got chosen to like become the Slayer. Orin doesn't have it in my game.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So she doesn't turn into the Slayer.
No.
Huh.
No.
I bet that makes this fight way easier.
It's so easy. It's absurdly
because in my
easy.
game,
And
I gotta
also
fight
there's no interference from anybody. It's
by
'cause
the
it's
way,
one-
her approach is rad. Like the approach to her little ball temple, which is the ball temple from Baldur's Gate 1, by the way.
yes.
It's very cool kind of conceptual revisiting. But, you know, you kind of go down this big mountain path kind of thing down into the depths, and you go into the temple, which we've been into before, and then you get in there. So there's like a 1v, she's like 1v1 me, bro. Is that what happens?
1v1 Ball Temple, no power-ups. Scolaritas Fell meets me like just before the doorway, and you're like, hey, this is it. This is your royal dwelling, even though we've been working so long.
You're like, cut me, Scolaritas, cut me. You're like in the corner. Cut me, Scolaritas. Ah!
I didn't hear no bell. Yeah, so no, funny little cutscene of Orin with the kid before we say, hey, whatever. Orin, I tell Orin, I don't care about the kid. You can kill the kid, and then Orin kills the kid. And
Damn.
yeah. Yeah, and we get a little cinematic of us just kind of squaring off, and that's it. Then we start the fight. I like get super powered up. I actually start the fight as the Slayer before, like in the cinematic.
Like it puts you in that, or you do it? You trigger
It puts me into it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Just to confirm you're a badass.
Just to confirm, and also there's like there's an aura that appears or in the circle of the platform, so it is like you cannot, you know, no one's leaving. But yeah, it's like 3 or 4 rounds, and after I kill Orin, she liquefies and becomes a skeleton and just like turns into blood. And Scolaritas is, you know, he hams it up. There's a nice little cinematic where he's like, "Ball's coming for you," and then the camera slowly kind of lines Scolaritas up with the skull, with the giant ball, you know, symbol skull engraved on the wall, and then a blade like emerges from Scolaritas Fell's chest. And then he starts floating up in the air. And then another blade emerges from his chest like he's being stabbed in the back, but you do not see any daggers from the back. You're just seeing blades emerge from his chest and him floating chest up limp. The skull then begins to glow, and the blood of Scolaritas Fell is collecting in a pool on the ground, and I walk forward into the pool and look into Scolaritas Fell's own reflection in the blood. And so the reflection begins talking as Bhaal Avatar. That is, the subtitles are like, Bhaal Avatar, I've come to give you your inheritance. I've got a gift for you. He gives me a super strong, he gives me like a like death touch ability, like a just kill somebody type of thing. He calls me the Slayer, and there are opportunities here for me to try to refuse, and I don't take those opportunities. And he basically tells me what he wants, which is he wants me to kill everybody, and then when I am standing atop the mountain of corpses of everyone who is dead in the world, then kill myself.
That's a big ask.
Big ask.
Are you able to accomplish that? You think? No spoilers.
We'll see.
Don't tell me.
We're going to have to see. We truly
Shouldn't
will.
ask.
But what's interesting is there are opportunities, even at this point, to reject him. And I'm going to go ahead, you know, given that we won't get to experience this, if you do, you know, in the back of your head, oh, he's going to strike me down. And in that moment, Withers will intervene and prevent your death.
Huh.
Yeah. Interesting, huh?
You don't kill him.
Hey, that's the protagonist.
He's the protagonist. You can't end the game here. You're so close to the end.
Yeah. So I grab
I've got
Orin.
guys to give him still.
They're weird. They talk like me.
I've got some fellas. I've got a lot of lore to explain them, but they're really just me.
I know
all
you've
the
been
fellas.
playing for 100 hours, but my time to shine hasn't even come yet.
That's right. That's true.
So I grabbed the Orin's Netherstone. How does this work for you?
I just killed Orin and stole her Netherstone. No, not really. I think I had to restart.
Fight?
No, I did. I just stomped her into dirt and then left.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it took a little while. Again, it's a long fight, I think, but it was not because I did both of these things like this and then what we're about to do with Gortash. It didn't last. And, I'm max level.
Yeah.
I mean, she does turn into the Slayer, and that's a hard thing because I think can two-shot you.
And jump all over the place.
Yeah. Well, so it can jump, knock you down, and then knock you in the old noodle while you're on the ground. Mm-hmm. That's bad. You don't want that to happen to you.
Yeah.
But
Did you go
I think I had to
into Orin's bedroom, like her private chambers? Yeah.
She's got her murdered mom in there.
She's got her murdered mom. There's a murdered pale dragonborn. On
Is
the
that the
floor.
urge?
That's the Dark Urge, and you know that because it is the default Dark Urge model when you first click on Dark Urge.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. So Netherstone secured. We got to get
Netherstone.
Netherstone.
Got that Netherstone. I'm gonna need the third Netherstone for my crown. I won't endure no back talk about my Netherstone.
Netherstone. Windspear Hills.
Hills. That's right. Mm-hmm. I'm going to the Windspear Hills to use my Netherstone in my nether ground. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's interesting because there's a lot of ways to approach the Gortash side of this quest, and I kind of preempted a bunch of stuff because you know how the Emperor, aka Baldur, keeps whispering in your ear, "Hey, you better watch out going after Gortash." Well, he's got all these RoboCop 2s plodding around. Mm-hmm. So I went to the RoboCop 2 factory down in the Docks District area, and I was wrecking house, and apparently Gortash found out and then destroyed a secret underwater base that I wasn't even aware existed. Has this ever happened to you? Has the villain ever destroyed a base you didn't know existed in a little cutscene, and you're like, what's up with that? And then you just go and kill the major robot?
The big bot?
Yeah.
Did you have a big bot bomb?
I did.
Okay. Who'd you get the big bot bomb from?
I got it from a gnome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's two factions of gnomes. There's the Liberation faction versus... you know what? I can't... We tried to reconstruct this before, and I totally beefed it up.
Yeah.
Wulbren?
Yeah. So the Gondians have been kidnapped. The Gondians are this...
There's an ethnic group of gnomes called the Gondians.
Yeah, and they're so good at what they do.
They're machinists, and they're really good at... And they've been building the RoboCop 2s.
Yeah.
And there's a different group of gnomes.
Yes.
Wulbren Bongles people. What are they called?
Okay.
Him and Barkus Root, the Iron Hand gnomes.
The Iron Hand gnomes, yes.
Wulbren believes
he's got some pretty extreme political views.
He does. He believes that both the City Watch, like the Foundry that we're talking about, the RoboCop 2s, he believes they should be blown up, but that also the Gondians should be blown up.
They're complicit. They made the things.
They did, but also the Iron Hand gnomes got displaced by the Gondian. There's a primal crime in gnome society.
Yes.
that he's also it's not just about who made the robots.
The Iron Hand gnomes got cast away for doing a thing that may or may not have been bad, but they were blamed for something.
Okay.
And the Gondians took the privilege that perhaps Clan Iron Hand used to have.
Yeah, so there's no political thought in this whole game that is remotely close to this. And so it really kind of comes out of nowhere to whoop you in the ass.
Yeah.
But the Iron Hand gnomes made a thing called rune powder. Maybe this is the thing. It's basically the atomic weapon of blasting caps.
Yeah.
And so they get sidelined for that, but they also tell you, we do have this rune powder, and you can use it to blow up the factory if you want to.
Yes.
There's a separate story here.
There's a separate story because the Gondians are only participating and helping Gortash because he has kidnapped important members of Gondian society and leadership and stowed them in an underwater prison called the Iron Throne.
The Iron Throne. Well, it's built in the ruins or underneath the ruins of the Iron Throne building from Baldur's Gate 1, which fell into the ocean.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Mm-hmm. There's a little side quest we're not going to talk about with the Umberlee, the priestesses of Umberlee. And
which is it's an independent side quest, but one that points you in the direction of the Iron Throne. So if you do that first, you can, you figure out where the Iron Throne is. Did you do the Iron Throne?
Yeah, I did the Iron Throne. There's another point to this too, another thing that if you're doing Will's quest, his dad, Duke Ravengard, has been put there. So that's another way you can get. So it's just where political dissidents are put. It's the negative zone. It's the what's the thing called? The platform or whatever it is from Marvel. Whatever that is thing. That thing where they just banish people. Anyway, it's down in there. You take a little submarine. That's fun. Submarines are neat. And
until they kill sea creatures and Umberlee gets upset.
So basically what happens is that if you decide to go to the thing, Gortash gets on the old speakerphone.
He gets on Zoom.
He gets on Proto Zoom, on Magical Zoom. And he says, if you go down there, I'm going to fucking blow this shit up. And you could say, I don't care. I'm going. And he says, all right, I'm blowing it up. And then you get there and there's a fun little mission, I guess, for lack of a better word, where you have 6 turns or 7 turns, something like that.
Yeah.
A short number of turns to rescue as many people as you can out of the zone.
And when you rescue them, they don't just give you a thumbs up and then fade away. They've got to get back to the submarine.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got to it's a different kind of puzzle. Because you've blown it up, there's also sea people in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sahagwin. And you gotta either fight them or unbuy them or whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's a real, do you know how the action economy of this game works?
Yeah. Probably the highlight of my first playthrough. But
you rescued them all.
I didn't get Ravengard. I rescued everybody but Ravengard because I didn't even know Ravengard was there.
First time I played it, I only rescued Ravengard.
Yeah.
There's also, who else is here too? There's the
Illithid merchant from the Underdark.
That's right. He's in there too.
Mm-hmm. And one thing people miss is that he has an ability to teleport himself and one other person back to the submarine.
You fucking what?
Yeah. If you just make sure to rescue him last, that's how you can rescue everybody, is just have one person.
Got it.
You don't need, as long as you can get to him and he has an action left, he can teleport you and one other person back to the submarine. No other actions needed.
That should be... You should get an email that says that when you buy the game. It should be printed as large as the Hollywood sign and then flown throughout the sky worldwide behind a fucking Zeppelin.
Or maybe he can just tell you that psionically.
Hey, I can teleport you and me.
A save me last, adventurer.
That would be good.
You didn't know. No one knows this. I think this is a noted phenomena. I tell people this and they're like, what?
I hate it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so you do that. If you do that, then you've rescued the gnomes. And if you go into the factory, The gnomes, who were working there, they don't want to help you. But if you say, hey, I already rescued all your bros, all your like family members, they'll go, all right, revolution time. Here we go. And then you fight your way through the factory.
But you're not free and clear because throughout the factory, there are little items that kill all of the gnomes that can like get activated because they've got like kill collars.
Yeah, something like that. So there's like just some puzzle dungeon stuff. It's maybe the worst part of the game. The first time I played this game, this is the like, not quite game breaking, but just like, I got to this point and like clearly some flags had tripped and some other flags had not tripped. And so it was just like, I would have conversations that would pretend as if I'd done one thing. And then later in the conversation, it would pretend as if I'd done the other. And I think that's mostly fixed.
Yeah, but for me tricky. Specifically, it was like Duke Ravengard. Like the game believed simultaneously he was alive and okay and also dead. So that's a problem.
Some sort of cat.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you can do all that, and that's kind of like what you would need to do to make sure you're not fighting robots. I reckon you could like go fight Gortash and the robots. Probably nothing stopping you.
Yeah,
just robots.
I did it. There's a big robot at the end that's like a big old boss battle fight. Boom, 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 and you can just blow it up. Is it blow? Oh no, you have to do both. You have to fight the big boss and also blow up the like factory brain that controls all the robots.
Yeah.
Because then Gortash can't do nothing. He can't enact his iron will.
Yeah,
his tyranny.
All the little robots just kind of power down. And then you're free to go fight Gortash, which I think is probably the lowest payoff, least interesting shard bearer, as it were.
Can I say a thing before you say that?
Yeah.
Before you talk about that fight?
Yeah.
There's a Clan Iron Hand member named Hoagie Nooners.
Thank you.
There's also one named Dolber's Friend. Mm-hmm. Hoagie Nooners and Dolber's Friend, my closest allies.
Do you think the Forgotten Realms would be better if all humans had gnome names and gnomes were the only ones with like very traditional, just biblical names like
Gregory.
John and Matt?
Yeah. Andre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Okay, you go. Yeah, he is all the way up. Remember when we saw his coronation or whatever?
Yeah.
He's in that same place, but like one level up.
Mm-hmm.
So you walk up there. I made sure to get, gosh, what's her name with the engine in her?
Oh, Karlak.
Yeah, I don't know why I have such a hard time with the names of this game. Mm-hmm. And nothing else in my life, obviously.
Yeah.
I got Karlak in the party because, right, he enslaved her and she was his former bodyguard. So I want to get some narrative juice out of this thing. We run up that tower and he's basically just like, don't fight me. And I said, we're fighting you. He says, all right, come on in. And then we have a big fight.
Yeah. There are traps in his boss fight room.
Yeah, that's neat to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's not neat to you?
That's fine.
He's got a bunch of heads. He's got a bunch of busts of the other, like archdukes or whatever. That's neat.
Does. It's the traps are a little bit less of a factor when you're only fighting as a single person, right?
Yeah.
Like as a
solo. It's going to be less of a thing. But yeah, it's just, I mean, it's not it is, I would not call it one of the more interesting fights in the game.
Yeah, so what was the payoff for you after beating
he's dead? Doesn't he get like a big aspect of Bhaal, kind of, or not Bhaal, but of Bane? Or like a big buff or something?
He's got like an item. He's got some boots. He's got some jack boots, I think.
For some reason, I think he gets big. Does he not get big?
Oh, he can get big, yes, in the boss fight. Mm-hmm.
Maybe you didn't see him get big. But yeah, he's got some interesting mechanics going on. Nothing. I think I just ripped that whole thing out of his glove. And Karlak says, fuck you! Go to hell! Like, kind of that.
And that's kind of it.
Yeah, there's not, it's not big beats. And, other than like, oh, we gotta kill this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can like talk your way out. Can you talk your way around this? Is there any way to like kill him with talking?
Especially for me, but I think for anybody. Mm-hmm. If you kill Orin, he will you can avoid the fight, I'm pretty sure.
Or he'll make a
just
deal with you or something?
Yeah, and you can just like make a deal with him to be like, okay, well, we need to get this elder brain under control, right? And so he'll like lead you to the next area that we're going to go to after this episode. I've never done that.
I mean, I had all my talkies maxed out, and I don't think I had the opportunity. And I killed her first.
Interesting. I wonder if it's Dark Urge only.
Could be. Let's see.
Yeah.
Can you talk your way out of Gortash fight? Let me look. Let me see if I can pull the... Let's see here. Went to give it to Gortash. So I have Karlach's quest line. This is someone on Reddit talking. I can't even talk to Gortash once and then talk to him a second time, since if I go to interact with him after the first talk, the game automatically starts a fight. They assume it's a bug. If you'd like to keep the alliance with Gortash, you have to reject giving him the stones. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that it's easier.
People are saying in this thread that it's a Dark Urge thing, so
Dark Urge only. That makes sense.
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, it was not a super difficult fight for Balthazar at this point. Turned everything into pincushions, moved around. I think I may have opened this fight by just throwing a bunch of explosives at him, which is fun. But yeah, I truly... Orin was good. Obviously, for Dark Urge, Orin's kind of the main event here. And Ketheric Thorm, that was also like big set piece fight. Gortash, despite feeling like he was kind of the mastermind of this whole plot, felt not as interesting, not as dramatic to me. Like there just wasn't much there. And I wonder, because Gortash is like a political leader at this point. I think that his original area was probably in the upper city. But instead he's like at the top of like the barracks, right? So I wonder what happened there. Like I wonder how far into development did they pivot and kind of delete the upper city and combine the upper city and the lower city? I'd be interested to read that.
I think a big issue with this fight is that it's in a bad location. I think that's it. I think that the like big Gortash moveset and like the people that are around him, I don't think it operates optimally in this like weird little room.
You think it's a little too claustrophobic compared to
too small,
fighting Orin in the big old arena?
Yeah, I don't know. Both Orin and Ketheric, there's a lot of room to move around, and there's a lot of room to have a lot of pieces. And this one, there's not, and that is to, I think, provide the thing you were talking about, which is like, there's traps. You gotta be aware of them, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But in reality, it means that there feels like a very few decision points to be made in the fight. Like, you just gotta keep everyone's health up, and you gotta smash on him until he dies.
You remember, on fighting your way over to Gortash, there's like a much bigger room, the inauguration room.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of traps there, and you can like fight a couple of fellas, guards, etc. on the way up. I think that fight, that arena might have worked better, but you might have needed like a little maybe NPC contingent that would help you.
Here's my pitch on a different Gortash fight.
Go for it.
Gortash got 1 billion hit points.
Yeah.
Every round, you're fighting in like in a hall with all the other dukes and royalty.
Okay.
They're aristocrats. There's like, let's say there's 30 of them in the room. Every round, he points at one and turns them into like an adherent of, tyranny or whatever. It's some sort of avatar of tyranny. And so it becomes like a DPS race. You gotta focus him down while managing these ads who appear like once a round. One by one, which would lean into what he does, which is like forcefully bring in allies that make Bane is not a enemy that is an issue 1v1.
Sure.
Bane is an enemy, like conceptually in the Forgotten Realms, that is an issue because he's the god of tyranny.
Yeah.
He will bring the resources of the easily dominated to bear against you. It just feels like this could be like the gold fight from Act 2.
Sure.
Where there's like a different axis that you end up fighting the fight on.
What do you think about like this conflation of Bane and like I guess it's not conflation, it's just two independent things that are both true. Enver Gortash is a Baneite. He is the chosen of Bane. He's
the
tyranny
sexiest man
embodied,
alive.
and he's so sexy. You know, there's a little bit of charisma in tyranny, sure.
Yeah.
And also, he loves gadgets.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that.
What's going? You know, I feel like there's almost because he throws bombs. And stuff.
I've never thought about that, but he does love gadgets. That is true.
Like, I don't know if the game's making an argument about how technology and tyranny are related.
Yeah. I just think they had to like think of a thing because he's the weapon master.
Sure. And
that's how he that's how he became famous originally before, or known
he's
or powerful.
He's an arms dealer.
Yeah, he's an arms dealer. And, the way that you get in a world of swords and spears, the way you get a leg up is by inventing the gun. Like, I get it. But maybe he doesn't have to be the guy who does that. He could have like a number 2.
Because my addition to your idea of
he could have like the guy who makes Jet. He doesn't have to be the guy who makes Jet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like your idea of the boss fight having kind of a dynamic ad situation. But I would just throw in, if you're going to make him the gadget person, sure, he has lost control over the robots. Put him in, make him a little diva. Make him a little person that like jumps in the mech and then like zoots around in the mech suit.
Oh,
like,
that's interesting. Yeah,
manually controlling the robot, and then if you DPS the robot down, he has to pop out and like and climb into another one. I don't know,
and tinker with it.
Sure.
He's got like kind of Battlefield style. He's got to jump out and use the wrench.
Yeah, I think he might actually be. I think this fight might be way more compelling if like it is revealed he has no combat prowess whatsoever, and all he's got is his silver tongue and his gadgets.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, I think that would be something that displaces him, right? Ketheric Thorm is a general
who can't.
And we got to turn him into the big, avatar of Merkel to make him a big bag. So, okay, I accept that. That's okay. Orin is a murderer, assassin. I accept that. This guy's thing's not that.
Yeah.
It's something else. I think you should get rid of the gadget thing altogether. I think that's an error, and I think that maybe is part of the trickiness, is that maybe the last fight with him feels so bad in the trap room because the game is constantly telling you he's the tyranny and charisma guy, when in reality he's the nerd, he's the intelligence nerd. In terms of, but that's only surfaced one time. That's surfaced here. Because we know he didn't even make the skill watch. The Gondians did that.
He made the Gondians.
And he did that with charisma.
Yeah. So here's the final pitch, right? This is the most avant-garde one, right?
Okay.
This encounter begins with him just doing charisma checks against you.
and like depowering you?
Yes. Like every success, it's like saving throws against his like argument for why you should join him or why you should give up.
That could be good, actually.
And then
like he gives you like depression, and it gives you disadvantage.
And then the boss fight is just him on a throne, and it's a bunch of his knights and soldiers and whatnot beating the shit out of you after he mean mugs you for several minutes.
and he's at the end of the room, so part of the fight's getting over there.
Yes.
If you fail certain things, you move slower. That could be cool. Yeah. I just think that something that's about ads explicitly and that he does not fight you. Maybe you can shoot you with a laser beam out of that gauntlet. That's okay to me.
Like a little WoW goblin.
Yeah, right? That'd be okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, I'm not mad about this, but I think it's fine. But I think the ceiling is much, much higher on Enver Gortash, the hottest man in Baldur's Gate.
And that brings us to the end of the episode. We have secured all of the Netherstones. We are good to go and confront the end of the game. Are you satisfied? Are you happy?
In what way? Like a medieval knight would be? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I've defeated my enemies and I'm ascendant. Sure.
The next episode is the last episode of Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
We'll do one post, like an epilogue episode, because there's like kind of, but arguably the plot of this game's been like, of the 16 episodes that we've done, how many, we had 2 episodes about like the plot of the game.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot.
Right?
I mean, we could do this with the other ones too.
It's true. It's true.
This is not unique to Baldur's Gate 3.
It's not.
It's going to be, it's interesting that, we got this nether crown.
Yeah. Well, we haven't got it yet.
We don't have the crown. We have the stones. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. We have the stones. And, it's a big question. I guess 2 major things are happening here. One, we've got the hammer.
We got the hammer.
Mm-hmm. We have the hammer that could free Orpheus.
Yeah, but
we also...
Ember has said that's a bad idea.
We've also got a big old brain to go find.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be the beginning of the next episode. It's going to find the big brain, figure out what to do with this hammer we got.
Yep, exactly.
I hope we do it.
No, I hope we do that as well. And we will see how we navigate to the end credits of this game next episode. Bam. Bam.
Bam.
Ciao.
Wise. So saith the wise among them.